right, item number 14, expanded infill development and impact fee program. Mr. Gale.
Good evening, council members. On the first council meeting in June, we held a brief little workshop to discuss our infill impact fees. And at that time, the council directed staff to go back and to update our infill impact fees. I'll quickly go over, it'll be a repeat from the presentation, but the history of our infill impact fees and the reason why we're proposing expanding the area in which our infill impact fees would be used. So first, this was adopted in 2007 to encourage infill development of single-family homes. The area and the boundaries were the former redevelopment agency. In 2014, the council included all residential development, both single-family and multi-family projects. At that time, there was also included, it broadened the definition of infill impact fees of where they could be outside the redevelopment area. It was up to the discretion of the development services director, and that's 75% of the areas around the properties needed to be developed. Why are infill fees needed or used by local governments? They are used throughout the Sacramento region, and it's used because it's better utilization of the infrastructure. Reduces the need to expand and some of the costs associated with that. It helps deal with blight. Many of the vacant parcels that we have attract, it seems like they attract sofas for whatever reason. And seeing those projects develop obviously eliminates that blight. And as projects develop, obviously it helps us spur additional developments in a community. Just this past week, I noticed like a roof was being replaced on one home. They left. Not a week later, that same contractor replacing a roof on a street. Similar things happen with the development as people develop parcels and encourages other peoples to take care of their properties. Additionally, infill, as you assemble properties, it is very difficult to develop or to redevelop infill parcels as you try to take possibly existing single-family homes to build a retail center on a corridor. A great example of that is we've had many developers try on the corner of Franklin and 99. It's just very difficult to do. So what are the proposed changes? There's two. One, an expanded map, and then the second is an improved definition for infill. And the third is including all of the city's AB 1600 impact fees with one exception, and that's the flood control fee that the city has. So this is the new map. The light brown, which is very, very light, is the former redevelopment area. And then the blue is the new proposed area. This was made up by looking at the city and trying to find which properties would basically meet the city's new definition of infill. It's not perfect. If projects come in, we can always come back and bring it before council to expand if we feel like it met the intent of council's direction. So here is an updated new definition for what infill impact fees to qualify. Number one, it must be within the property boundaries in the map I just showed. The property has to have readily available access to city utilities. The difference from the last time is we had the word all in there. One of the developers asked if we could remove that word. I didn't think that it made a significant change. So 75% of the properties, adjacent properties are developed. The property is not within a specific plan, except the Central City specific plan. All developments and or reimbursement agreements are properly executed and funded. So tonight, we're asking for the council to adopt a resolution expanding the infill map and updating the definition to include all development impact fee, AB 1600 development impact fees less our flood control fee. I can answer any questions that the council might have.
Any questions?
To the mayor.
Yes.
On the levy improvement project or the fee there, assessment fee, with all the conversation we've had and with, I think, Sabufka, what was our we've recommended that we're going to go back and reassess the actual impact fee and some changes that may need to be done regarding its actual numbers, since it was originally conceived for doing the money, matching funds for the levy project. But there are 64 identified items that the Corps and FEMA and politicians would like us to do that are much higher than us. So that's where some of that fund money I know is going to go. I have that list, and some of them are absolutely ridiculous. But give the public a little background on what our next steps on that fee might be.
We actually had a meeting today with Sabufka and discuss the need for them to re-justify our flood control AB 1600 impact fee. So if that is the direction of the council, we can move forward with that. It has been a discussion, and like I said, we did have a meeting with them today on another issue, and we brought it up. It was the levy impact, the flood control fee was originally adopted in 2007, which was pre the current assessment that's been adopted by the residents. And like I said, the Sutter Butte Flood Control Agency is more than willing to look at and re-justify that fee for us.
I do know that it's necessary, having served on the Sabufka and been party to some of the acknowledging the need to have that fee or a fee in place. It is actually one of the requirements, basically, to get approved for many of the grants. But I think, like you said, 2007 and then 2010, I think, is when we actually did the benefit assessment. There's, we need to repurpose it and figure out its real direction and intention. Thank you.
Any other
Other than
questions?
that, thank you very much. It looks good.
Great. That was the only other comment I was going to have. Any other comments? All right, entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve staff's recommendation.
Second that.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? None. Okay. Motion carries.